All right, welcome back. With the Minnesota primary now days away, it is next Tuesday. We, of course, have been holding a series of conversations with candidates for Minnesota governor and for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Tina Smith. We've extended invitations to those polling 5% or higher, and each candidate gets 10 minutes. Today, we are joined by Mike Lindell, running for governor in the Republican primary, not endorsed by the state GOP, but endorsed by President Trump. Mike, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, normally I start with a bio of candidates. I think you're well known, your story and your history, your name recognition is high in Minnesota, and that is, part of the reason that, believe that your name recognition is doing a lot in terms of the way the polling is.
Yes.
But let's start here with the first thing. And I know you released some budget details. We're going to talk about your budget in a minute. First, you were not endorsed by the state GOP. They came out pretty strongly after your endorsement from the president, saying that they stand by the president, but they do not believe that you are the right candidate to win in a general election against presumptive Democrat Amy Klobuchar. What's your response to that?
Well, they've been their endorsement's been picked for the people of Minnesota since 1994. They haven't won in 24 years, and Alex Pleklis should step down. He's attacked me since I announced I was running December 8th of last year, and it's a shame when they get up to Duluth and they have this fiasco up there where the voting machines went down. Kendall Qualls wins their endorsement, and they haven't even helped him. They've been helping their Lisa Damath, who they let run, even though she broke her promise and said she would not run without that if she didn't get their endorsement. So you can kind of see a parallel here. I've been polling #1 with the people in the last 7 polls. Now I'm like 80 or 90%. It's very high now. And when he started attacking after the president endorsed me, it's been one nonsense thing after another. Mike's not, doesn't live here. Mike doesn't have a driver's license. Mike gives out pillows at parades. It's just, this is just an attack by our own party. I am the only one that can beat Amy Klobuchar, and we've had with the plan we have, and now putting out our budget today to make Minnesota the 10th state where we income tax free, state income tax free.
We'll get to that here in just a second. Let's finish up this with the concerns from the state GOP, where you'd mentioned, their concerns, I should say, about your residency in Minnesota. You have a home in Texas and a home here. They're asking the Secretary of State to ensure that you meet those residency eligibility requirements. What proof have you given? What proof can you give to show voters, to show the party, the state?
First of all, this has been brought up months ago, and I had to give it to the GOP even to qualify to go to their convention. They have my pay stubs from August 10th when I moved back here of 2025, my pay stubs. That said I'm paying taxes in Minnesota. I came here I could have waited another 6 months and still qualified for governor, but I came back. I could have avoided our state income tax for another 6 months, but I said, no, I'm coming back. I live here now 100%, and that was August 10th of 2025. Then a month later, I got my driver's license here and registered. They were sent a Star and Tribune who attacked me there. They were sent a picture of that when they said I wasn't registered, and that they didn't apologize when they found out I was. This is all out there in the public. 100% I can run for governor. He's doing this to put doubt in people's mind, reaching out to an office that has nothing to do with this, Steve Simon, who, by the way, we put up stuff on our website where he has actually committed crimes in this election, him and Keith Ellison, if you want to go there. He sends it to a guy. This would be the Minnesota Supreme Court. It would not be if there was any violation whatsoever or any doubt.
Okay.
So he's doing this to put doubt in people's head because the election is Tuesday, and I'm polling like 80 or 90%. He's a not a good guy.
Well, the last some of the polls I've seen where you're polling #1, 35% in a July survey by Survey USA. The polls you're referring to are those ones that you had commissioned, internal polls.
No. If you go to Polymart or Kale, right now it's got me at 86%. It's gone up every single day since Alex has attacked me. Every time he attacks it, and then we just had the big debate out at Farm Fest, and I went up another 3 points today. This is as the media continues to attack me, it seems like the people are seeing through that, and it's looking very good.
Let's talk about your budget, which you mentioned yesterday at Farm Fest would be out today. Now we're seeing some of the details that you've released, and the headline there, as you mentioned, is a desire to eliminate the state income tax incrementally. How would you do that? How would you cover the cost of that?
The budget just got posted 5 minutes before the budget on our website, lindellgov.com. So you can see the go there now, and you can see it's 82 pages. But you'll see an outline that's a lot easier to understand, everybody. And one of the main components is direct primary care, our healthcare system. We're going to save about $10 billion. At my company I was formerly with, now MyPillow, each employee would have saved 50%. The corporation, MyPillow, would save 30%. But this comes on the heels of Governor Walz passing, or actually embracing, the big beautiful bill 3 weeks ago, which made this possible. So direct primary care now, with part of that bill, that people can go to this plan I have, and it lines up beautifully. It couldn't be better timing of what happened there. And then but there's so many things in there. For example, we talk about the illegals that we have 1,400 illegals at a cost of $159,000 a year to us taxpayers. It's I think $159 million a year that we're housing these criminals, illegals. And now with ICE just coming in with the detention center, that's perfect timing. The day I'm in a governor, take these illegals and get them out of here to do their time in their own countries and never come back.
You had, I have a couple of viewer questions I wanted to get to. We're running out of time. I wish we had more time, but we're trying to keep everybody to 10 minutes. You had told the Washington Examiner last week a proposal for a 6-month amnesty for illegal immigrants.
No, that's a lie. I never said that. The Examiner came out and used the word amnesty, and it went viral. I've never been for amnesty. I never have been, and I never will be. That was a media hit job.
Okay. Good to clear that up.
You can check the budget out. If you go to the budget, you'll see all the illegals and what we're going to do with them, and the employers that employ them. And if they do it anymore, they're going to jail.
Okay. Let's bring up a viewer question. We got a couple we want to get in from Darla. If you filed bankruptcy on your own company, what makes you think you can run a state?
MyPillow's never had a bankruptcy. That's another media lie, everybody. Never had a bankruptcy. I built one of the biggest companies Minnesota's ever had, to firing thousands and thousands of employees. Built it from scratch, going around my state of Minnesota, selling MyPillows out of a pickup truck and trailer to selling 85 million MyPillows. We've never declared bankruptcy. We were attacked by our own government under Operation Arctic Frost and the machine companies, and MyPillow is stronger than ever. It's still standing. We guided it through some of the worst times in history. I got MyPillow. Was able to sustain that and guide them through attacks. I can fix Minnesota.
Okay.
And I've been working 6 months on this plan. So that's another media lie.
Okay.
Never been bankruptcy.
All right. And then one other question I wanted to get in here is, if the legislature is controlled by the opposite party, what's one issue where you believe you could build bipartisan agreement?
I believe I can do that better than any candidate in history in Minnesota and around the country, because what I'm proposing, if you see my budget today, everybody, all Minnesotans, and it doesn't matter who you are, it's going to help you. It's going to make Minnesota affordable again. So if I'm blocked, I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat, I'm going to be the most transparent governor you ever seen, and everyone in this state's going to know, why are you blocking these things that help us as a state and as our people in the state? So it's about what's getting out there, and my private sector plan too is going to, the Minnesota Nice part, that's going to help subsidize this budget. You guys can check that out, but it's going to unite us all, the parties and the people of Minnesota. We all want to make Minnesota affordable again. 100,000 people have left under Governor Walz's watch, have left Minnesota. It's shameful.
Okay. Okay, and again, you've recently stepped down as CEO of MyPillow to devote your time to this campaign. We are out of time. That goes quickly. Mike Lindell, thank you for joining us today to spend some time with us. And again, looking for your budget proposals on your website. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's lindellgov.com if you want to check out the budget today.
All right, Mike Lindell, GOP candidate for Minnesota governor. And again, the primary on Tuesday. We have more conversations coming up tomorrow, and on Monday, I know we've got scheduled, not sure who we have for Tuesday, but more conversations to come. Time